Compassion bolsters winter fishing for 90-year-old Tengu Club. Up, down, up, down, up, down, over and over. Perseverance, patience, peace. This approach has buoyed a little-known organization that has plied the waters of Elliott Bay off West Seattle most every winter for 9 decades. The all-volunteer Tengu Club, an aggregation of Seattle-area Japanese Americans and others, has forged a hearty culture and tradition of yearly fishing derbies. Early on, Tengu became the club's name based on supernatural beings in Japanese folklore with reddish faces and long noses that grow as they tell lie after lie, much as those who fish are prone to do. Tengu Club's durability, however, is no exaggeration. It stems partly from a fishing method members developed long ago called mooching, constantly moving a herring-baited line up and down, imitating the flutter of a wounded fish to entice bigger ones to bite. The club's venerated historian, Mas Tahara, 89, of Northeast Seattle, also sees significance beyond its fishing. The underlying point, he says, is kazuna, a Japanese word that means enduring bonds. Tengu is people, he says. It's very, very important for anyone. It makes people alive. Summoning that spirit was a challenge when the club began in the mid-1930s. Though well-publicized spring and summer fishing derbies proliferated throughout Puget Sound, Japanese people weren't invited to participate. Ostensibly, this was due to the success of mooching, as noted in the September 16, 1940 edition of Time magazine. Describing the Sound's 25 established salmon derbies, the article stated, "Japanese are barred because they are too skillful." But Tahara and other Tengu Club members assert that discrimination also was a factor. To provide an alternative, Tahara says, Tengu Club set its derbies in the winter, a relatively unpalatable time for local fishing. The weather is bracing, and the fish typically available then are juvenile blackmouth salmon, smaller than their fair-weather adult counterparts. Tengu Club's contests ceased after Japan's December 7, 1941 attack on Pearl Harbor and the U.S. relocation and incarceration of Japanese Americans during World War II. Post-war, in December 1946, Tengu derbies resumed, lasting days, even weeks, and continue today. Derby data starting in 1946, kept by Doug Hanada, longtime president, show 100 to 190 annual members through the 1990s, dropping to 20 to 35 in more recent years. Still, they are a hardy crew. Tahara emphasizes a pair of longtime Tengu Club philosophies: maintaining dignity and momentum in the face of unavoidable hardships, and extending goodwill by opening derbies to non-Japanese. "We always try to see things with compassion," Tahara says, "and we are always interdependent." The resulting camaraderie in the cold and wet, he says, is precious. In our first then photo, at a 1989 Tengu Club weigh-in at West Seattle's Seacrest Marina are, from left, Mas Tahara, Doug Hanada, and Ron Hanada. A 30-minute documentary on the 9-decade history of Tengu Club, a project of club members including Tahara's cousin, Hillary Hutchison, will be shown for free at 1 p.m. February 16th at Seattle University's Piggott Auditorium as part of a Japanese-American Day of Remembrance observation. A 2025 derby is also in the works. In our next then photo, Kyle Hanada, 4, and Father Ron exult in a bountiful catch in 1989. In our third then photo, displaying their Tengu Derby catch in the late 1980s are, from left, Earl Welch, Mayor Charles Royer, and John Jute. In our fourth then photo, at a Tengu dinner on January 22, 1994, Doug Hanada, left, who had caught a 12-pound, 10-ounce blackmouth salmon, receives a second-place trophy from Dean Olson. Today, at the same spot at the Seacrest Park dock, are Tengu Club members from left, former president and club historian Mas Tahara, longtime president Doug Hanada, Nelson Park, Linda Ishii, Rick Mamiya, Nancy Ishii, Oscar Hicks, Chris Peeler, Guy Mamiya, Dan Hicks, Sean Herzog in the orange shirt, Sammy Hicks, Sam Hicks, Lisa Hicks, Irene Kiga, and Ed Toyoji. Also today, this Tengu creature with elongated nose is the cover image for Mas Tahara's self-published book, Tales Told by Fishermen and Women of the Tengu Club of Seattle. Also today, a plaque mounted on a stone at West Seattle's Seacrest Park honors the Tengu Club. Also today, at his Northeast Seattle home, Tengu Club historian Mas Tahara displays his Gyutaku art. For this Japanese tradition, ink is applied to a fish that is pressed onto paper. Also today, Tahara displays a 1969 Derby poster. And finally, at his Northeast Seattle home, Tahara points out a club painting.